go. I'm burning up, hot flashes got me sweating like a sauna. Body feeling different, hold creeping like a drama. Clock hits 3, wide awake insomnia. Got me stressed, mirror shows dry skin. Used to glow, now it's a mess. Achy joints, back stiff, tailbone hurts too. Trying to stay fly, but this fupa making moves. 1 minute I'm chill, next I'm seeing red. These mood swings got me tripping, messing with my head.
Hello, my lovely listeners, and welcome to What the Pause? I'm your host and creator, Amalia Cartsonas, and today we're going to be talking about the so famous and popular use of GLP-1's. Because I know ever since I knew people who started it, especially Ozempic, and I've seen many people's stories online about their own personal use. But I just want to educate everybody on this podcast to say that, GLP-1s are the buzzwords of the day, okay? So what we're talking about in GLP-1 medications like semaglutide or, pardon me for saying this, tirzepatide are everywhere, especially in the news. You see celebrities saying, I use some certain vial or vitamin or hormone. It's all GLP-1s, guys. Let's see for what it is. But what do they mean for women going through the pause, perimenopause and menopause? And what the hell is all this microdosing about? Because if I hear another person say microdosing, and it is a doctor, I'm going to lose my crap and I will explain all this going through. Okay, so what are GLP-1? Well, the GLP-1 are receptor agonists. So originally, as we know, they were used for diabetes, but now they're so popularly used for weight loss. However, when you talk about perimenopause versus menopause, as we know, we have some hormonal shifts that can lead to weight gain. And I know in my body, the composition had changed. And yes, your metabolism will slow down. So now, guys, I'm going to separate the myths from the truths and also tackle this controversial idea of microdosing. And I'm going to be very honest with you. I was very, very interested in the microdosing component. But until I actually saw that there was little to no research about it, I'm stepping back. And this is from doctors that I found were very credible that were talking about it, especially Dr. Terry Dubrow. Now everyone's like, he's a TV star. He's married to the Real Housewives of Orange County, Heather Dubrow. I actually met Dr. Terry Dubrow when I was in Las Vegas a couple of years ago. And this man, it has to be the most kindest and just sweetest man and really has empathy for his patients. But when I heard him talking about microdosing now, because of his personal story, he had actually gone on Ozempic, but he didn't need to lose 30 plus pounds. He only needed to lose 10. So this is where he said, I'm not going to be taking Ozempic at the full dose. So this is where I'm thinking where microdosing comes into play. But let's continue on. So some of the myths and truths about GLP-1s and menopause. Okay, so here is a myth. Okay. GLP-1s only work in younger women. Actually, there have been large clinical trials like the SURMOUNT, S-U-R-M-O-U-N-T, tirzepatide program, show comparable weight loss in the 3 stages of menopause. So there's pre, peri, and post. So there are some comparable weight losses there, and there are some large clinical trials. However, it's not just for younger women. Here's another myth, number 2. GLP-1s replace hormone therapy. Oh my goodness. This one, please, ladies, if you're listening to this, hormone therapy is a complete different animal than the GLP-1s. I'm on hormonal replacement therapy, and yes, I can take GLP-1s, but I'm not actually approved because I'm not at the 30% BMI, nor do I have any high risk factors like high cholesterol or high blood pressure or whatever the case may be. So I don't qualify for any of this stuff, nor do I want it, to be perfectly honest with you. But GLP-1s, the truth is, they actually help with blood sugar control and weight. But of course, they're not going to address your hot flashes or the fact that you're going from 0 to 100 in terms of calmness to almost having a hurricane in your home contributed by you. And for bone density loss, GLP-1s don't do that. In fact, GLP-1s, they actually harm you in terms of muscle loss, because you will lose muscle mass when you're on GLP-1s, especially if you don't do any weight training. You're going to have to do a diet on a GLP-1. I'm going to explain that a little bit more to you, but just to let you know, hormone therapy remains the mainstay for those issues. Do not take a GLP-1 and think it's going to ease your mood swings and hot flashes, okay? Another myth I found is that GLP-1s cause dangerous muscle or bone loss in midlife women. Like I just said it, right? It is true. You can lose weight loss really rapidly on this thing, but you can reduce your lean mass if you don't support it with protein intake, significant protein intake, guys. Okay, we're talking like 30 grams of protein for at least 3 meals. Because if you don't support it with that and resistance training, weightlifting, you're going to be definitely seeing this reduction of lean muscle mass. And you know what, guys? It doesn't look pretty. I know many women who are on it and they think that being skinny and having their skin hanging off their bones or their muscles being too soft is going to help them in the long run. I can guarantee you this, guys. I know family members who are on it in my personal experience, and I wish to God that nothing happens to them. But think about the long run. If you don't work out and you don't have that muscle mass, you're going to be a frail old woman by the time you hit 60. Yeah, keep it up and see what happens, especially to your face too. Why do you think there are so many younger women getting deep plane facelifts at 30 years old after taking Ozempic? Because they've had a baby and they want to lose the weight and blah, 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 blah. As you can see, this is a hamster wheel that women will not get off of if you start this GLP-1s. Again, this is all my personal experience and what I get from my research. And even because I was considering it at one time, so I always do my research for me very, very well. And I'm not convinced at all. And that's my conclusion. However, let's continue on with these myths. Number 4, I would say the myth is they're unsafe for women around menopause. Okay, well, we talked about this, that GLP-1s have a great safety record in diabetes and obesity. But long-term menopause-specific studies are still going. So are you the type of person, I understand if you have diabetes and obesity, absolutely go for it, okay? These have done wonders in terms of helping people's lives and saving people's lives. But then you see GLP-1s into what I call normal people who do not have any of those risk factors and they just want to lose weight without putting in the effort. And I know you're going to say, no, I've put in the effort. Really? Really? Okay, the only way I can challenge anybody on this outlook is the fact that if you show me, and if you want me to be your coach, shameless plug there, what I would do with my clients is I say, okay, let's track your meal intake for the 3 days. And I know you're all going, yes, I do this with my naturopath, I do this with my doctor, blah, blah, blah. But you have to be honest with yourselves, guys, okay? I use a great tracker, and it's a meal planner as well. And if I have even 1 stick of licorice, I'm putting it in my app. We have to be true to ourselves, and true in terms of not looking for that miracle drug. And this is what this is a miracle drug. For those who want to lose weight, it's always been a miracle drug for diabetics. Okay, let's get this straight. I'd rather see someone with diabetes or obesity take this drug because it will save their life. But for those who do not have them, it's going to actually cause more harm. I have read online with people who have had stomach ulcers. I had a friend of mine who went into the hospital because she couldn't stop shitting her pants. Pardon my French. You're losing control of your bowels. You're losing all concepts of your own terms of what health looks like. Is this something you want to show to your daughters? The fact that, oh, just take a drug. It's not to help you in terms of your medical condition, but it'll help you lose weight and you're going to become so skinny and everyone's going to love you. Seriously? I don't know who started that. I know as a Gen Xer, I have, and I'm not the only one listening to this and on this podcast, where we were shamed for being, in their eyes, quote unquote, chubby. We were shamed for being a size 10. We were shamed of not being the size 2 supermodel of the 90s. Let's just say that. I'm taking it back to the 80s too, because you think those supermodels in the 90s, the cocaine chic was great. In the 80s and 70s was all speed that were taking to make themselves look really skinny. And that train of thought actually passed down to their daughters. And I remember being young myself, and if instead of not learning about great health and great what to eat for food, for example, and lifestyle, my mother didn't have anything in our cupboards that tempted her, because of my father, who was in the veteran generation, not baby boomer. My mother's baby boomer. My dad was from the veteran generation, who said to her, "You're fat. You're going to be skinny all the bloody time because that's how I want my wife to be." And you thought it stopped at her? No. It stopped at the girls too, at me and my sister, who he used to call us fat and lazy and dumb every day of our lives. He would even call me fat at the age of 30, where I was going So to conclude, in terms of not learning that lifestyle at home, and I know there's many women out there who are probably relating to this right now, and they don't want their daughters to become less worthy because of their weight or because of what they look like. So the Gen Zs, thank God, are helping us get that train of thought out of our heads. So, but I digress. I'm just letting you know, in terms of my personal reflection, in terms of what I've seen, in terms of what I've been taught in my life, I took charge of my life. I took charge of my health. I took charge in terms of going to the gym. Yes, however, when I was going to the gym, I always had my dad's voice in my ears saying, "You're fat, you're ugly, you're stupid, you're dumb." So I said to myself, okay, I guess having a great body means I'll be accepted by everybody. And my drug at the time was being a compulsive exerciser, 3 hours a day at the gym, cardio for 2 hours, weight training for 1 hour. And this went on for decades. And then my body just said, nope, that's it. I'm putting you in perimenopause now. That happened to me at 45. And my body shut down. But because of all my training too, it also helped me grasp later on a very healthy way of exercising and eating that I would not have learned from my parents nor my mother. So I just want to put that in your heads, guys. Really think about why you want to take this medication, what the long-term effects of it will be. What kind of an example are you demonstrating to your own daughters or to others who look up to you? Okay. And remember that there's no long-term menopause-specific studies with GLP-1's. Okay? So, again, these drugs became very popular in 2023, 2024. A lot of people are talking about it in the down low during COVID. Those celebrities were lying to us. They're on this stuff since day one. Okay. However, what we do know about GLP-1s in perimenopause. Okay, so we know that we have hormonal changes. We have our estrogen is dropping. We have an increase to insulin resistance. I'm the same. And is my weight gain in the middle bothering me? Sure. Do I have an apron? Yeah. But I am working out. eating well, really putting on the protein, and really pushing myself at weights only, not even cardio. And I'm really happy of what I've been achieving without the use of these drugs. But there's some evidence here. I'll give you some studies in terms of the current opinion in obstetrics and gynecology. Okay, this is a 2025 review. GLP-1s are among the most effective weight management tools for midlife women. Okay, again, that's just a review. It's not a study. There's a PubMed publication that says they had a low-dose semaglutide study. Women in menopause lost similar weight and preserved lean mass compared to younger women. Again, there's a low dose study about that. And then in a post-hoc surmount analysis, tirzepatide actually reduced the weight circumference and weight regardless of the reproductive stage. So we have to remember that there are different types of GLP-1s too. Now, a lot of them are semaglutides that are very, very popular, but I'm also doing a lot of research in the tirzepatide, which is Zepbound, which is Mounjaro. Those are the ones. But again, not enough for me to really convince myself to go on these things because it looks very enticing. It looks so tempting to do that. But what are you doing to your body, and what are you saying about yourself to my daughters? All right, so the hype versus the evidence of microdosing. Okay, so Dr. Terry Dubrow, I spoke about him earlier, and he was talking about how he is now microdosing, and that actually helps him subside with the side effects. It doesn't really mean microdosing like microdosing cannabis oil, for example. It just means that the microdose is a much lower than approved dose. Okay, so these are often done in pharmacies, compounded to ease or reduce side effects. So there are very small reports of lower, not microdoses, but lower doses showing some kind of weight loss. However, there are no large randomized trials of true microdosing in women going through menopause, whether it be pre, peri, or post. There is that appeal, right? Oh, you mean I don't have to run to the bathroom? I don't have to throw up? Will I still be able to drink alcohol? Ugh. Anytime I hear somebody drinking alcohol thinking they're going to lose weight on it, they're not going to. Sorry, but that's not going to be happening. If you want to lose weight and you're drinking a bottle a day or even 3 glasses of wine a night, you're not going to lose it. Challenge me. Okay, so the risks, there is no standardized dosing. So the accuracy of this drug can vary, especially when you do compounded products. So it could be done specifically for that particular person who's prescribed the product and a different compound for somebody with different needs. And it's also unclear if the benefit is enough to prevent weight regain. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. There are also unknown interactions with hormonal replacement therapy. So, will the GLP-1s do anything for my weight loss or weight gain during my menopause, and especially being on estrogen and progesterone? So, a lot of doctors, including my own, will call microdosing experimental. Okay, do not take it for what it's worth. Please, please, please do your research. And doctors, especially my doctor and those that I've read online, they really recommend sticking to evidence-based dosing under supervision of your doctor. So in terms of, I told you my personal preference about, taking GLP-1s, but I really don't think about this, guys. When these didn't come into play and you were trying to lose weight on your own, Now, I know my weight can fluctuate anywhere between 5 to 8 pounds. Sometimes it was at 10 to 15 when I was much younger. But now it fluctuates between 8 to 10. And I'm okay with that. I know my body so well that what it needs to function. Okay, I take my supplementation. I take my collagen peptides. I take my NMNs. I take my berberine, which, guys, berberine is nature's GLP-1. Okay, this is from a plant. And if you've seen one of my shorts on YouTube, I explain it in depth in terms of what berberine does. This is a plant-based product that actually regulates insulin resistance. It will regulate your cardiovascular. It will regulate your cholesterol. I had taken berberine continuously. I know many doctors say take a break off of it, but my liver's fine. So when I did my last blood work on my last panel, I had excellent results while taking my berberine. When I was off the berberine, I would say last year, I had high cholesterol, I had high blood pressure, I had everything that was high, and I did not want to take a GLP-1. Again, like I said, nor would my doctor approve of that. So next best thing, berberine. What a game changer for me. If you think GLP-1s are game changers for those with diabetics and who are obese, I would definitely try the berberine. I like Thorne products, and Vital Source is another one that I've just started to take, and because the berberine does absorb much quicker, and I can actually feel that it curbs against my appetite for carbs. I know, sounds weird, but no, when I eat it and I've taken my berberine, I don't want to eat much more. So it may actually mimic a GLP-1, but without the side effects and without the cause of regaining that weight. What happens when you stop a diet? When you stop a diet, you stop working out, what do you think? Your body's just going to stay that way? Absolutely not. Depending on your age, it's going to come back with a vengeance. Or if you're a young man, it will never come back at all. But for those who are of menopausal age and perimenopause, I really want you to think about it, okay? Because it is a lifestyle. Absolutely. We need nutrition. We need strength training. We need adequate protein. Use those peptides. Those collagen peptides are also phenomenal. And these are all to protect muscle and bone. So a few takeaways I'd like to give you guys is this. Please be careful when you are choosing, if you are going the GLP-1 route. Please use a real doctor that you will see face to face. Now, I know in Canada, we have medical doctors online and programs like Felix, and they're almost the same in the United States as well, where if your doctor, like mine, won't give it to you, well, they will, for $99 each prescription. And you're probably thinking to yourself, okay, so anybody who's on these particular pharmaceutical programs online, why do they start you at such a low dose and then you get frustrated because nothing is working? So you ask them for a higher dose. Well, that higher dose is not only going to cost you more per vial, it's also going to cost you another $99 in prescription fees. And that's how they get you. So 2 weeks later, you're on another dose, $99. 2 weeks later, a higher dose, $99. Think of all the monetary risks and benefits too, not just the health ones. Because although they may be a powerful tool for weight management, they're not a menopause cure-all, okay? You need to be working with someone like me, a coach, a menopause coach who is going through perimenopause right now, who has 30 years of fitness instruction, who's also a professor, who's dealt with many different people of all ages and sizes from everywhere around the world, helping women in terms of providing the right coaching and support they need through this stage, and not making stupid decisions without any kind of consultation. And if you want to go the microdosing route, it's really tempting, like I said, but it's unproven at all. So I encourage you all to discuss your options with your doctor who's experienced, by the way, in both menopause care and metabolic medicine. It could be a naturopath too, by the way. Good luck getting a naturopath to get you on a GLP-1 because they're like-minded like me. So what I like to do is, if you have been on GLP-1s and are perimenopausal, let me know. Send me an email at Amalia, AMALIA, at whatthepause.co. Come and listen to me on my YouTube page. You can also find me on my link tree under What the Pause. I would love to have some more subscribers and some more questions, especially about this topic or other ones coming up that I have in September, with one that I'm really excited about, which is men and menopause. They just don't get it. Until then, I love you all to be healthy, be safe, and embrace the pause. Talk to you next time. Take care.
Yo, I'm burning up, hot flashes got me sweating like a sauna, body feeling different, odor creeping like a drama, clock hits 3, wide awake insomnia, got me stressed, mirror shows dry skin, used to glow, now it's a mess, achy joints, back stiff, tailbone hurts too, trying to stay fly, but the scooper making moves, 1 minute I'm chill, next I'm seeing red, these mood swings got me tripping, messing with my head, I go through all these symptoms, do you go through it too? Is it just me or you riding this wave too? We gain